Okay guys and girls, welcome back to FTRL. We're here for round number 4 of the Division 2 Championship, live from Montreal in Canada. Just me on the commentary tonight, so unfortunately you're going to have to put up with my voice, but we have got 19 people on the grid this evening for what should be a very exciting race. A couple of updates for you. I do actually have game sound this evening, so that should be pretty cool. Please let me know if the volumes and stuff are all okay and everybody can hear a nice mix of everything what's going on. There's a hell of a lot on my OBS screen right now and it's a little bit mental, so you're going to have to bear with me a little bit, but nevertheless we are here for round number 4 of what's proving to be quite the championship so far. We've got a couple of new faces on the grid. We've obviously got T. Smith, who's swapped down from Adamaco, the former two-time back-to-back race winner in Division 2. He's made the step up to Division 1, and T. Smith, the current GT1 champion, has dropped down to Division 2. So he'll be more towards the top of the grid, I would imagine, but certainly will not be a walk in the park for him. Definitely shouldn't be. So if you boys can just let us know in the stream that everything sounds okay, there's a nice sort of difference in quality and whatnot with the sound, that would be absolutely fantastic. But what we'll do first of all, before we get fully underway this evening, we'll have a quick look at the Division 2 standings. So as we can see, at the moment it is the Racing Point of Bread is your daddy, who is the championship leader by only 4 points to a certain Mr. Goy Carp in the Alfa Romeo. So second in the grid, second in the championship. After a quarter of the season, Goy would have bitten your hand off for that before the season started. Obviously Adamaco has then moved out, so that now puts AJ in P3 and there's quite a close gaggle of cars behind. So it should be a pretty interesting rest of this championship, and I can't wait to bring you the action, so it should be great. Obviously we've got the return of Hammer Time tonight. Unfortunately I had to miss last week due to work, which is a bit of a shame. So the former championship leader, I know he tends to go quite well with Canada, so we'll have to wait and see how he gets on. In terms of constructors, the Williams, who was led by Adamaco, are now the top of the Constructors' Championship. He has been replaced by T. Smith, so he's inherited quite a nice little position to be in the championship. He's got some way to go if he wants to put himself towards the top. So we'll close that off for now, and we'll get straight to the action. So as we can currently see, it is the man that got pole position last week, FTRL Pagani, who is currently in pole position with 12 minutes left of qualifying. So it must be said that we do have the return of Captain Chubbs this week. Unfortunately he wasn't able to make it last week, but he's currently set at 109.9, which is put him 4th, and he's done it on the medium tyre, so he will certainly be hoping to improve on that and start himself off in a pretty good position. I think some of these guys, if they can start on the mediums, it'd probably be the best way to go. And we do actually have FTRL Oven, as you can probably see, has DNF from the session. He's serving a qualifying ban for an incident last week. But whilst we've got it all here, I'd like, if you don't mind, for us to do a little vote or a little poll. If it's something different, or we want to try it out on FTRL, I want to try it's called Rate That Beard. So if we can just do that, I'm going to bring up a graphic now. If we can all just get something out of 10, would be great in the stream chat, and just let us know if we can just rate just that beard there for me. That would be absolutely fantastic. So that is FTRL Oven. He's very proud of said beard. But yeah, if you can all get your scores in now, I'll pass the information back on to him. I'm sure he's going to love me for doing that on the stream. So if we can all pop your answers on, that would be great. So rate that beard. There we go. Okay, maybe turn the comms up a bit and race volume down a touch. Thank you very much, Pete. I shall do so. There we go. That should be a nice little mix now. 5 out of 10. Sorry, James. Needed to be done, my friend. Needed to be done. You can't give me a bit of equipment like I've got and not expect me to utilise it. There we go. Right, a lot of people setting out on their outlaps for their second run. One thing I do also want to mention, FTRL Blue Flag started to go well last week. Started to find a little bit of pace. He then decided to absolutely bottle it in Zandvoort, and he was quite annoyed. And just so we can all see a bit of evidence of how angry he was, this was the picture that was sent into our group chat afterwards. So yeah, he wasn't best pleased after last week. Now he's either got a gigantic fist or he's headbutted a table. I mean, it could be his dog I mean, get your answers in what you think created that mark. It's gonna say either dog head or, I mean, I can't say fist. It's far too big. He has very small, petite hands, as Simon. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Get that in there. 10 out of 10 for the bottle. Thank you, Simon. But right, okay, so we've got Pagani, who's currently on flying lap. I've completely missed the point, unfortunately, but we're going to roll with it. He's not currently invalidated his lap. We're going to go on board with Pagani. Coming towards the final chicane, cuts it nicely. A little bit of a clip of the World Champions on the outside. Early upshift. Can he get into the... No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Well, no, he does improve, sorry. But Captain Chubbs has now beaten him to it and got into the first car into the 108s. So, yeah, so quite a nice little... I mean, it tended to be pretty close last night, actually. Whilst we're here, I think it'd be a good idea to bring up last night's results from qualifying. So as we can see just there, it's only got the top 14, but Cliffy was your man with a 107.8. So at the moment, Captain Chubbs with his time, he would have been just outside of the top 10 in Division 1. So it just shows the speed in Division 1 at the moment. It's absolutely frightening, but there was quite a similar theme in terms of a lot of drivers being very, very close to one another. So let's see how it ends up, because I'm quite intrigued by this division. We've got a lot of very, very similar pace drivers. And yeah, it's proving to be quite the championship. We're going to go on board with Megatron, who's coming around to complete his final part of that. We've actually got a special guest of Megatron, wants to come in and share their thoughts for how he's getting on in qualifying. So I don't know who you are, caller, but if you can just, we've got him on Skype, so if you can just pop yourself in and hopefully we can see you in just a second. So yeah, please let us know your thoughts on Megatron, how he's getting on so far in the qualifying session, and any words of support for the race that you've got. If you can just share that with us now, that'd be great. Alright, okay, yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it? I know, I'd be annoyed seeing that sort of qualifying. Yeah, heading down towards the first sector, you can't look, can you? You can't look at that point. I wouldn't even look at the screen if I was you. It's pretty disappointing. Let's see. Oh, you want to do it better, yeah? Oh, okay. So this is actually Roller. This is Ross's cat, and she's actually quite disappointed that with Ross's qualifying session so far. He's currently on pole, but she definitely thinks she can do it better. So props to you, Rolo, and hopefully we'll see you on the grid soon. So yeah, so that's Rolo. So thank you for swinging by, Rolo. Much appreciated. So now back to the serious stuff now. FTRL Hammer time. He's currently on a lap, just starting sector 2 in the McLaren. Currently sitting in P7. He'll hopefully wanting to be moving up the grid slightly. He's shown some good pace so far this season. Definitely found his feet on this game. A little bit slow through the middle chicane just there. Rides the grass on the outside. There's the hammer down now. Opens up the DRS. Heading towards the final chicane, can cut that. Does that very nicely. Nice little exit. Wants to avoid the wall of champions. That's a 109.3. She does improve. Goes up to P4 and in 2/10 behind Pagani. But Megatron Le Chat is currently on pole by just over 2/10 to Captain Chubbs. Let's have a look at the gap to the leader. So we've got, it's fairly spread out, so you've got the top 3 fairly close, and we've got a little bit of a jump to Hammer time, and then T Smith respectively behind, and we've got a lot of guys within a few tenths of each other from P6 down to probably like P10, so scrapping for the bottom end of the points just there. Let's go and see who's on like that. FTRL Lee Cole went very, very well last week in Zandvoort, one of the best drives I've seen him have, and I was very disappointed to see the outcome of his race. He had a couple of incidents towards the end, but I think he started P14 and was looking odds on for a P2. So Lee's definitely got the pace in there somewhere. He just needs to try and utilise it over the course of a race. So we're all behind you tonight, Lee. Best of luck. He's completely run out of battery coming down towards the end of his lap, so this might be his second flyer. And he's not turned off his EOS, he's just gone straight back into the pits. So there we go. Captain Chubbs just started a flying lap. So we'll go on board with the Racing Point driver. Down towards 4th, early up shift to 5th. A little bit of a wiggle on exit, heading down towards the end of the first sector. Let's see how his time is. He's up by nearly just a tenth of a second. Slight lock up. Oh, he slides out. That's going to definitely cost him a bit of time there, but he's going to carry on with his lap. And he's weaving. Signal, that's the end of his lap. Yeah, very easy to lose traction. A couple of parts of the circuit is quite tricky. I think what would be a good idea to do as we approach the end of qualifying, just to bring you an on board with City Posh Blue, who show you his qualifying from lap from last night. Obviously finished the race in P4, a really, really good performance. So we're just going to see City Posh as he takes us through a lap of Montreal.
No, Sweeney.
So comes out the final corner, coming up towards all the champions. Slides out. Oh dear. No, we don't want to see that. No, get off the screen. Sorry, guys. I mean, I genuinely thought the City Posh Blue wouldn't have done that, but unfortunately, it's I must have loaded up the wrong clip. Sorry about that, lads. Sorry about that. Right, Goik up. Let's see what you're doing. Pressure's on. You're on the stream. Comes out of turn 2. Cuts nicely. Doesn't invalidate his lap. And down towards the end of the first sector, he's nearly 3 tenths up on his time, so that's going to put him provisionally about P7 already. See if he can add to it. DRS open, heading down towards the tricky middle chicane. Downshifts nicely, he cuts it very well. Taking it very well as Goy so far. Now, one of the trickiest corners is the tight hairpin before the back straight. You don't want to go too deep. Goy is taking it pretty nicely, a little bit slow on exit, but I don't think it's going to hamper him too much. Might get a slight toe off of the driver in front. I believe that might have been AJ. We'll see if Goy can improve, heading down towards the final chicane. Cuts it fairly nicely, but he's invalidated his lap right towards the end. That was looking like a really, really good lap from Goy Karp. He's going to be disappointed with that. But maybe he can just turn the ERS right down and go for one flyer right at the end. But T. Smith, former Division 1 driver, he's got a lot of pace as T. Smith. He's just moved over to Will. So let's wait and see how he adapts to it. He's done it pretty well in GT Sport on a Assetto Corsa. But Formula 1 is a whole different ball game, so I don't think it's so much the one lap pace that T. Smith has to worry about, it's more the consistency. I've got Megatron as well saying to me that he's very, very scared about tonight. Apparently in practice he lost a hell of a lot of wings. Yeah, he lost a hell of a lot of wings in practice, so let's see if we can utilise that and get it all out of the way and move on. But I'm going to stay with T. Smith because I'm intrigued to see how he's going to perform. Quite a nice slow out lap, and he's away. So the Ferrari in front lost a little bit of wing there coming out the final corner. T. Smith down towards turn 1 goes quite deep, a little bit slow out of 2. It's going to lose him a little bit of time. It was Mikey that lost himself a little bit of win. In towards the first chicane, easy to invalidate, doesn't do so. Takes that fairly well. Is he going to be up in his time? You know, the first couple of corners, he's 3 tenths down. That's an invalidation, and that's a lap over for T. Smith, unfortunately. I'm going to go and see what Pagani's up to. Just started what's going to be his final flying lap, I believe. Cuts that pretty well. A little bit of poor run out of the chicane. He's 2.5 tenths up at this point, a little bit deep as well. So not the best lap from Pagani so far, but nevertheless he's put himself in a pretty good position. He's just under 4 tenths off of pole position as it currently stands, which is held by Megatron in that Mercedes. But if anybody can find a lap, it's Pagani. Pole position last week. Opens up his DRS. Using as much battery as he can. Needs to get his final chicane right. Give it everything through. Pagani does so. Opens up DRS. He's definitely going to improve here, I think. On a 7.108. 108.9. That's going to put him in P3. Captain Chubbs has actually beaten Megatron to pole. But Megatron's just started. Is he just starting a flying lap, or is he? Oh no, that's game over. I think Captain Chubbs has done him by just under 300ths of a second. Is there anybody else that can trouble him? T. Smith currently on a flying lap. A bit wide at the final chicane, at the middle chicane, sorry. But Pagani should be fairly happy with that, starting on the second row. FTRL blue flag jumped up to P4. Oh, T. Smith, massive slide out there. Been are we going to see any form of improvement from T. Smith? And he does invalidate towards the end as well. So Hammer Time's confirmed himself in P5 as it stands. Oscar's currently on a lap in the Renault. Been going pretty well this season so far. And he invalidates as well. So easy to do. And I believe that is absolutely everybody. Megatron isn't on a lap, neither is Captain Chubb. So your grid, as it currently stands, or as it will stand for the start of the Canadian Grand Prix, is going to be Captain Chubbs on pole position, narrowly beating Megatron in the Mercedes who lines up alongside him. And you've got the AlphaTauri second row of Pagani and FTRL blue flag. And then you've got FTRL Hammer Time in P5 with T. Smith making his debut in Division 2, starting in P6. Oscar starts P7 with Zombie, who went very well in the first week of the season at Austria, until he had his little moment which caused him to retire from the race, but he was right on the back of Hammer Time and a scrap for the win, so keep your eye out for him. Current championship leader Bread is Your Daddy in P9, followed by second place in championship Goy Carp, so they occupy the fifth row of the grid. Then you've got Matt Man in P11, who gets the first free choice of tyres on the grid, alongside Agent Panda in the Renault. We've got KC Bernard and just Mikey H in row 7. FTRL Lee Cole not qualified particularly well tonight, but we've seen his race pace is much better. Lines up alongside AJ once again on the 8th row. Then you've got the two hash drivers of TRS and Max on the 9th row of the grid. And last but not least is FTRL Oven, who I am tipping to have quite a good race tonight. He's going to get free choice of tyres to keep himself out of trouble. It's not always the worst thing starting at the back in Canada, because you kind of tend to stay out of the way of the trouble in front, but needs to be careful picking his way through the field. It's not the easiest place to overtake. So pros and cons. Just checking in who's in the chat. Christy's in the chat. Hello sweetheart, nice to see you. Hijack Gaming, hello buddy, nice to see you as well. Long time no see, hope you are keeping very well. If you could all do me a favour and like the stream, that would be massive in your help towards FTRL. It helps us reach more people. Anybody hasn't subscribed so far, please do so, because your name will appear in the top right hand part of the corner of the screen, and I want to see if it works, because no one's actually subscribed whilst we're live before, so it would be wonderful if you took the time to do so. So there we go, there's your starting grid. So please get your predictions into the chat in first, second and third for your race podiums tonight. Are we going to see any safety cars possibly? It's quite an unpredictable circuit, is Canada. But yeah, Captain Chubbs and Megatron look quite a force. Should be pretty tasty indeed. Just waiting for these to come through. T. Smith looking spicy, yes he is. Bradley will make a naughty comeback. I didn't know you knew Bread. Hijacked. Nice to see you, my friend. Agent Panda's here. Good luck for the race, Agent Panda. And what I will say to everybody is cheers. I opened up a Brothers Strawberry and Cream Cider to enjoy the race this evening. So enjoy. And cheers to you all. Let's hope we have a good race. We can bring you plenty of entertainment. Another person who's extremely excited for the race tonight is Zach. I've just texted him to tell him how close the front row is, and he's just sent me this picture back. There he is. He's very excited. Very excited is Zach. Session starts in 20 seconds. Looks like it's going to be a nice clear race. Doesn't look particularly overcast, nice and sunny, not too many clouds in the sky. We've been quite fortunate so far this season. We've been, in terms of weather. Sorry, it's really quite distracting at this point. trying to read the comments on one screen but watch the race and control it on the other. It's massively thrown me off. How these streamers and people do stuff, it just blows my mind. It really does. But okay, formation lap. So Captain Chubbs leads the way. We've seen he's got pretty good pace, but so far he's not enjoyed the best start to the season. Missed out last week, and I think the week before, I think he retired. So looking to try and get a good result, but he's in the best possible position as it stands. Megatron the Shat in P2. He will be hoping to retain his wing for as long as possible. Been putting in quite a bit of practice around here, from what I understand. Followed by Pagani, who's we're seeming to find a little bit of the OG version of Pagani. Took a long break from Formula 1 and he's now slowly finding his form. And the man behind him, FTRL Blue Flag, his old friend and compatriot, they've, I think we're kind of mirroring a little bit of the FTRL OG trains that we used to see. Because just behind him, you've got Hammer Time as well. It's an all but familiar feel to that little pack. T. Smith, the reigning back-to-back GT Sport champion. Probably the best GT Sport driver we've ever had in FTRL, I would possibly say. He's occupying P6, Oscar in P7. He's had a really good season so far. He's learning as he's going as well, so every single week we're seeing slight improvements. Zombie in P8, lovely chap. Nice to see him on the grid doing well. Hopefully he can keep his wing intact this evening and avoid any incidents. Brad is your daddy, our resident American, our championship leader. He's got all the work in the world to do tonight to put himself back up where he should be towards the front of the grid. He tends to go pretty well in the races anyway. Goykarp in P10, slap bang in the middle of the grid. If ever there's an opportunity to see a Goykarp bottle, tonight is the night. Goy is literally the middle car on the grid, so we shall see. Mattman in P11, again signs of progression this season. Nice to see Mattman doing well. Agent Pan has enjoyed a good start to the season. The Renault boys are second in the Constructors' Championship. Casey Bernard dropped down from Division 1. He's now in the McLaren, finding his form nicely. Then we've got the two admins and two Ferrari drivers, the two commentators, the two Ben, no I won't say that, FTRL, just Mikey H and Lee Cole in the Ferraris 14th, 15th. AJ, good friend of Lee, they always seem to find each other on track. P16, and we've got TRS, Max and FTRL Oven right at the back. So we're getting ready for lights out. Not had too many predictions come in, so please send them across. Gives me something to talk about whilst we're racing. But here we go. The predicted pit stop strategy. Yeah, it's probably going to be a two-stop. I should have mentioned this. We saw a few people go on the hards last night. It didn't really work out too well. But here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in Canada for round number 4. And it's lights out. Away we go. Captain Chubbs has not enjoyed the best start. Bit of a wheel spin. Megatron's going to go around the outside of turn 1. Could he get this done? Inside of turn 2, very, very tentative from Megatron there. For some reason he is ghosting. Goykarp for some reason is up in P3 on my screen. The timing screens are all over the place. I've got no idea what's going on as it stands. But Megatron seems to have got on well. There's been an incident, one of the Alpha Tauris. I'm not too sure who that is. Pagani seems to be in P3. Hammer Time's in P4. Yeah, Blue Flag's not had the best start there. I don't know if he's lost any wing or anything. Oscar's jumped T. Smith in about for P6. Brad is your daddy's up to P8 already. He's looking to go side by side with Agent Panda through the fast chicane. Agent Panda needs to be careful rejoining. Nicely done. Not seen anybody have too much of a problem so far. Goykarp's not had the best start to the race. He's missing the front part of his wing as well. Cuts the corner. Goy's nightmare start for Goy. I feel like I may have cursed him slightly. Ovens managed to jump himself up a place. But the biggest profiter so far is FTRL Lee Cole, who's had another good start to the race in P11. Agent Panda down in, gone up to P9, should I say. But the front three have stayed as they are. Well, I can see Junkie Sport texting me quite a lot. It's quite hard to watch two screens and read it, mate. So I'll have to catch up with you afterwards. Pagani not letting Megatron get away. Although Captain Chubbs is 1.5 seconds up the road already. He's not used any of his battery, so he's looking pretty strong. Hammer Time on the back of Pagani as well. Not seeing too many gaps forming yet. The two Ferraris have both gone up since the start. The biggest losers in terms of positions is Mattman in P18 and Goy, who's had to pit unfortunately after lap 1. we're going to go to Pagani, who's putting Megatron under some serious pressure in towards the hairpin, but Pagani's a good racer. He probably won't do anything too drastic. And we've got T. Smith on the back of Oscar as well in the battle for P6. We're going board with T. Smith. Does he use any of his battery? He's not going to do so at this stage, although Oscar is using his. So T. Smith's going to certainly be in a better position when he gets close to him. Agent Panda, Bread is your daddy, looking pretty racy behind. Zombie's lost out a couple of positions down to P10. Captain Chubbs he's flying at the minute. He's certainly pushing towards the start of the race to get himself a nice gap. Penalties are going to be a huge factor tonight. Deluded Arsenal fan here. There we go. Nice to see you, buddy. Thank you for swinging by. We can just talk Arsenal, sod the race. Nobody wants to hear it. Yeah, the closest battle on track at the minute looks to me like it's going to be T. Smith and Oscar. So T. Smith does look faster than Oscar at the minute. Oscar's deploying his battery to help put himself away down the straights, but T. Smith certainly quicker through the middle part of the circuit. So we're going to stand board with T. Smith again, see if we can do anything. Obviously DRS will be available this lap. Oscar will get that from blue flag. T. Smith locks up into the hairpin. It's a fairly nice drive on exit. He's just under 4/10 away from Oscar. DRS is now going to be open. Decides not to use his overtakes, he's being patient. Penalties are a big factor tonight. We'll see him as the race goes on, I am sure. Not really much to report at the minute. It's all been fairly clean. I was expecting a little bit more chaos, I must say. Casey Bernard on the back of AJ. There we go. There's the chaos we're talking about. Completely lost both end plates of his front wing now. That was quite the lunge. Is he going to take another look in towards the hairpin? He's going to do so. AJ's going to have to back out of that one, I think. Quite reckless from Casey Bernard there. There we go. Nice big dive. He was, can tell he's struggling. Lee Cole's at a moment. He's going to go round. He manages to save it, but Mikey goes through. There we go. It's all starting to happen now. People swinging their booties about. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. T. Smith has absolutely bottled it. He's absolutely bottled it. I don't know what he's done. Oh, Ryan, you shouldn't be laughing at that. Sorry, Tom. You shouldn't be laughing at things like that. I'm going to tell him to not do that again. He's obviously had a moment. Doesn't seem to have lost any wing. I think he's probably just dropped it on the curb on the inside through the fast chicane. But his wing looks okay, which is probably better news. Well, the best possible news out of all of it. His tyres may be a little bit hot at this stage. FTRL blue flag. In the scrap with Oscar. Oscar goes deep in the turn 2. Blue flag, can he get a good drive out? It's a shocking camera angle from Codemasters. Oscar can try and hold it around the outside, bumps into blue flag. Needs to give a bit more room. Oh God. Oh, Oscar. No dear. Okay. Right, blue flag needs to, yeah, get his head down and try and get himself back in a position to get past Oscar. And meanwhile, we've got TRS on the back of Casey Bernard in the battle for P12. Casey Bernard picks himself up a penalty. TRS decides he doesn't want to take the chicane. And he's going to put himself under pressure from AJ in towards the hairpin. AJ later on the brakes. Is there going to be any contact? No, TRS gives him the room. AJ doesn't get the best run at the hairpin, but manages to get himself ahead. Chubbs wants it easy, honestly. Well, from what I've heard, he loves a bottle, so we'll have to see. FTRL Oven, he's up into P11, so he's up 8 places in the first few laps. And it could be another one here. As he goes down the inside of Lee Cole, gives him a little bit of a punt. It's a done. Bit aggressive from Oven there. Yellow flag in sector 1. Agent Panda's round. At turn 2, he's dropped it. Has he got any wing damage? Can we see any issues with his wing? It looks all okay at the minute. Agent Panda seems to have got away with it. Head up towards the leading pack. Pagani still 7/10 behind Megatron. Just biding his time, I think. If I know Pagani like I know Pagani, I'm only sitting on completely full battery. Megatron not far off. Goikart picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. Difficult to see who that is at the minute. I think that might have been Matman. Was it Matman or was it Bread? Might have been Bread as your daddy. I'm not entirely too sure there. I couldn't see too much coming up on the grid. Right, Pagani's dived himself into the pits. He's going to go onto the medium tyre. So I imagine he'll take the Easter around lap 20, lap 21. And he'll put himself on another set of mediums to end the race. But will Megatron respond on the next lap? We'll have to wait and see. We're going to have to see where Pagani decides to come out of the pits. He's going to come out just behind Agent Panda, because he's in a little bit of traffic here. He's got AJ just in front as well, but they've got a couple of seconds. So if Pagani can make light work of these two and get past pretty quickly, that's certainly what he'll be hoping for. Pagani doesn't make a move into the hairpin. No, he doesn't. T. Smith picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. I'm not too sure what happened to Bread Hijacked. I think he might have pitted, but I definitely think he's had a moment somewhere. I could be wrong. Pagani runs very close on the back of Agent Panda. Needs to get this move done ASAP, because Megatron, I imagine, is going to pop himself into the pits very, very soon. If not right now. Let's have a look. Yeah, Megatron goes into the pits. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3, FTRL oven. He hasn't, has he? He has. There we go. He's not had the best of moments there, FTRL oven. Lap 7 on some set of mediums. He's going to need to get himself into the pits as soon as possible. Hammer Time's in the pits, Megatron's in the pits. And he's going to come out. Where is Pagani? Pagani's coming around turn 1, just got past Agent Panda. And even though he had traffic, Pagani has managed to get ahead of Megatron. He's now got AJ for company. He's going to need to make that move fairly quickly, because Megatron's right behind him. Pagani in towards the left-hander at the end of Sector 1. AJ holds it around the outside. Pagani goes for a switchback. DRS he's going to have as well. Uses his battery. He's going to sit behind Lee Cole, give himself some slipstream. Pagani gets that job done. Next up on Pagani's hit list is Lee. Now I'm wondering how hard AJ makes it for his teammate. Let's see a move by Pagani towards the hairpin, are we? Oh, it's close. No, AJ's not going to let his teammate go. And Pagani's now in a good position to put himself up into P3 and run away. Captain Chubbs has pitted, but Pagani suffered here by being stuck in traffic, and Chubbs is able to run away. Megatron has got past his teammate in all of that as well. There's a lot of close battles on the grid, but I need to stay this one for now. Let's see how Megatron gets past Lee Cole, because it's inevitable that he will at some stage soon. Hammer Time's joined the little party as well, so we've got a nice little FTRL train. Captain Chubbs is sat right behind Mikey as well. Hammer Time gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Is Mikey going to make this particularly difficult? No, he hasn't deployed his overtake button, so Captain Chubbs is going to retake the lead, and there he goes. Pagani salvaged a little bit of time. He's managed to pull away 2 seconds already to gap to Lee Cole, so he's flying. Hammer Time completely cuts the second chicane. He's outbroke himself there a little bit. I think he just got past AJ. But Lee and Megatron in towards the hairpin. If there's one person that won't do a dive bomb, it is Megatron. Very, very clean driver. But now he needs to be very careful with the McLaren right behind him, because that is full position. 25 people watching the stream. Thank you all very, very much for your time this evening. I'll try and keep it as entertaining as possible, as well as a little bit of serious commentary in there as well. Hammer Time decides that the final chicane is not the right line for it. He's going to drive his own one. Captain Chubbs, 3-second time penalty. Pagani, fastest lap of the race. So he's well and truly got the hammer down now. Let's go down the grid and see what it's up to down there. So T. Smith, after his earlier incident, has now popped himself into the pits. TRS is round. Where is that? I'm not entirely sure. I think he's stuck in the wall a little bit there. Here's TRS. KC Bernard coming around turn 1. Yeah, but it's a strange space to lose it. is that I can only feel like that might be a little bit of contact which has happened there. TRS nearly moves over into T Smith as well, so not entirely sure what's happened. It might have been a traction loss, but it seems more to me to lose it there would be contact. Lee Cole and AJ into the hairpin. These two will be close all race, I would have thought. Hammer time. Can he do anything to Megatron? Captain Chubb's another penalty. So he's certainly racking them up so far. That is potentially his third one. I know he's definitely got two. Hammer time, very tentative through that. Just closing down on the back of Megatron. Let's go down the grid and see whether T Smith can get anything out of Max coming down the main straight. He's definitely got the speed there. If he popped his overtake open, he might have had an opportunity there, but he probably will have into turn one. Max not going to make this too difficult for him, I don't think. And T Smith puts himself up into P15. Recovery drive needed from him now. Is anybody left to have a pit? Let's have a look. Lee Cole has him not pitted yet. AJ's just pitted and TRS is in for his first stop. And Mikey is also yet to pit. So the two Ferrari drivers. And Mikey's doing a very, very good job so far. Must be said. Everybody on the medium tyre other than TRS, who's come out on the softs. So let's go and check in with blue flag. This is on the back of Oscar. They had a little bit of a run in earlier on. Is anybody brave enough to make any predictions yet for the final podium? Oscar tapped TRS round. That's a shame. It's a report from Junkie Sport. Pagani just got past Mikey. Blue flag pressure in Oscar. For some reason Codemasters has just given us horrendous camera angles tonight. Blue flag picks himself up a penalty as well. We saw last night, even from myself, the penalties can massively affect your final finishing positions. Even if you don't think anybody behind you is a threat, even if they're miles behind. Some people manage this track extremely well, others don't. So now that is Lee Cole in front of Oscar as well. So is Oscar going to take a look into the hairpin? He's going to. That's going to be far too deep from Oscar. It's going to be... Oh, he's forced Lee very, very wide. Now, it must be said, as Pagani picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, we're going to go on board with Lee Cole, who's hoping to get the look back on Oscar. This may not end well. No, Lee's going to sit behind. What's that wall? Yeah. Well, let's just say the elbows have been firmly out this evening in the Renault camp as blue flag goes past Lee Cole, running outside of turn one. Lovely job. Hammer time on the back of Mikey towards the end of sector one. So just over a third of the way through. Ooh, dives up the inside. They might be in a party together, so we might have just told him to go. As Hammer time's decided to just go straight at the next corner. A different kind of approach, but hey, if it works, it works. Megatron just outside of DRS range of Pagani. And Goy Kart, Agent Panda, the battle resumes. Yellow flag sector 3. That's FTRL oven again, is it? Yeah, he's only just pitted for a new wing. He might have to go in for another one. No, he's going to carry on. Goy Kart, Agent Panda, the battle resumes, like we said. Mikey picks himself up a penalty. He's going to need to pit soon, I think. Yellow flag in sector 1. Is that anybody that we know? Don't believe so. Oh, who was that? That's a Red Bull. Is that Oven? It is. Yeah, he's having a nightmare. He's obviously not up to temperature. I don't regret that. Blue flag and Oscar. I think this is the battle that we all want to see at the minute, because there's a certain element of unpredictability to it. we go on board with blue flag. Now, if I was blue flag at this stage, I'd be a little bit nervous. I'm just saying what I see. We've seen a couple of different moves this evening from Oscar. Not forgetting, obviously, he's very, very new. Megatron picks himself up a 3-second penalty, but he's very new to league racing and whatnot, is Oscar, so everybody's learning. He's definitely got some good pace. Maybe it's just the racecraft side of things, but Blue Flag's got a good run out of the final corner. Overtake's going to be open, DRS is open. As he goes by, puts himself up into P5. Needs to try and pull a gap now if he can. Megatron has halved the gap to Pagani, that's probably where that corner cut come from. The Mercedes versus the AlphaTauri. I mean, Captain Chubbs is currently running away with it. However, we know he's got a couple of penalties. I've seen Pagani get 1, possibly 2. Oh, Megatron massive slide. There we go. There we go. He's not going to be happy with that. That's going to be a wing loss. I mean, he can put himself on the hard tyres and they will go to the end, but it's going to massively hamper his time. Now's not the time, Rolo. You've had your moment. She's very, very disappointed with Megatron. Pagani's now got a little bit of breathing space. He's got just under a second to hammer time. He's looking pretty quick in that McLaren. Megatron falling down the order. Is he going to? He's gone to medium tyres. I mean, to be fair, they probably will go to the end. They just won't be the best come the end of the race. So I think he'll be pretty nippy up until lap 30/31. But if we look at the pit guide, a lot of the people here have opting for the soft, medium, medium. Medium's definitely the race tyre. I think the best one. Hammer time, overtake open. He's got no battery whatsoever, but DRS is open as well. Is he going to make the move into the final chicane? Is he going to go for it? He is. Gets it done, cuts the corner a little bit, but Pagani's not going to fight that one. T. Smith gets himself another penalty. But yeah, I don't know why the other strategy was the 3-stop predicted by the game. I think they just tell you to avoid the hard tyre at all costs. But there we go. Pagani a little bit of wobble, bit of a wobble at turn 2. Somehow I've forgotten how to say the word wobble, which is never good. Oh, hammer time into the wall. Did he lose any wing there? No, he didn't. Has he got damage on his front left? No, I'm seeing things. And how's Pagani's wing looking? We'll have a look in just a second. Captain Chubbs is currently just checking out. Mikey picks himself up another penalty. Yeah, Pagani's okay with his wing as well. Right, blue flag has pitted. No, he hasn't. I'm lying. I'm lying. It's because Megatron pitted and I saw him originally in P5. Not been a good day. Not been a good day. Oh, Mikey on the back of Zombie. This is for position as well. Mikey battling for P6. Could he take a look into the hairpin and get himself DRS down the straight? Zombie gives him the room, as Zombie does. Oh, Mikey needed to lift off there. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. Fred is your daddy is on the way behind as well. But Mikey we're going to go on board with. Overtake is set and goodbye. Zombie's not going to fight that one too hard. Bit of a lost battle. Fred is your daddy very, very close. He just dived into the pits. So that's probably going to be his final stop as well. I'm wondering when Pagani or Hammer Time are going to pull the plug and jump themselves into the pits. AJ and T. Smith very, very close. Also gets himself a time penalty. So many of them tonight. It's hard to know who is really in what position as it stands. AJ a little bit slow. Start the second sector as T Smith's away. He's going to need to pit again though. Well, Mikey, I imagine, is going to do the mediums and then he's going to end up on the soft tyre. So I think that's Mikey's move for the evening. Megatron may not have to pit again. Lee Cole's going to do the same as Mike, I think. Megatron may struggle to get those to the end. Nevertheless, I think he will certainly try. But he's got a massive gaggle of cars in front of him. He's going to need to get by as quickly as possible. Pagani trying to stay with Hammer Time. He's looking pretty speedy at this point. Max picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Goikart closing down AJ. He's in a Mercedes sandwich at the minute. He's going. Megatron pulls to the inside, heading down towards turn 1. Goikart's not going to fight it too much. Megatron goes through up into P11. Recovery drive. Although I can't imagine T Smith's going to make it too easy for him when he gets there. Them two will be in a party together, and there will be an incredible amount of banter going on. Keep the comments coming in. Been pretty quiet tonight, everybody. T Smith and Agent Panda. And T Smith goes through massive slide of traction. Hits the wall. Think he's okay. He needs to start bottling it. TRS is gone, retired from the session. Are we going to see a safety car? I'm not entirely sure, but he's definitely lost it. DNF'd. Not too sure whereabouts he's DNF'd. I think it might have been in the pits, to be fair. So we're not going to see a safety car this time. We've not had one, I don't think, this season. I could be wrong. Yeah, this is getting pretty tight now in the midfield. Pagani has now pitted, and he's come out in clean air. He's managed to judge that very nicely. Gets out in front of that little train of Zombie, T Smith, Megatron, Agent Panda, AJ. So Pagani has the opportunity to try and get an undercut on Hammer Time. So that's going to be a battle to the end, I think. Are we going to see Hammer Time respond this lap? Catamies is here. Good evening, Catamies. Nice to see you, my friend. Hammer Time doesn't pit. So he's confident on those tyres in a minute. Megatron on the back of T Smith. This is what we want to see. Time for Ross to get his own back on Tom. Because nobody can beat Tom in GT Sport. So it's nice to see him on track under some pressure. Megatron pulls to the inside. T Smith doesn't make it too difficult for him. And Ross goes through. Oven picks himself up another time penalty. He's not having the best of evenings. Captain Chubb's another time penalty. That's at least his third of the evening. I know he's got a nice gap to those behind, but you just never know. I've only seen 3. There might have been more, to be fair. For the interest of the stream purpose, I'm actually going to check how many penalties he has. So he's got 1, 2, 3. He's got 4 penalties as Captain Chubbs. Hammer Time has also got 4 penalties. Okay, and then Pagani has 2. Okay, so Captain Chubbs does have 4 penalties. I mean, you never know. A couple more maybe. If he speeds into the pit lane on his next one or something as well, it throws the race wide open. Anything can happen in Canada. Anything can happen in FTRL. Good evening, Tom. Thank you for joining us, mate. What a shocking graphic I've got there. Megatron and Zombie. These two know each other well. But Ross, he's going to pull to the inside. Down the straight, job done. It's another position. Zombie's not going to fight that. Hasn't got his overtake deployed. Oh god, that scared the life out of me then. I really thought that was it. Pagani goes quickest, so he's definitely fastest at the minute compared to out of the battle between him and Hammer Time. Hammer Time is going to need to box soon, otherwise he's going to lose quite a bit of time to Pagani. I think he's already going to be a few seconds behind, and he doesn't want to come out in any traffic. Because Megatron looks racy behind. Pagani on board now. Coming up to the back of just Mikey H. Pagani goes through. There we go. Easy as that. Final 12 laps of the race. Going to see much more movement. Hammer Time does dive into the pits now. So Pagani's through. Sorry guys, I was just checking the stream purpose. Team Goit. So Hammer Time actually gets out ahead of Pagani. I thought he was cert to be a couple of seconds behind. So Hammer Time is absolutely flying. He has just clipped the wall again though. Looks a bit uneasy through there. He's still got his wing. Captain Chubb's 31 seconds clear. Is he going to dive into the pits anytime soon? No, he's not. Goik up, another 3-second time penalty. Anything close on track, T. Smith on the back of Zombie. Yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. That's Oven. He's really not having the best of times tonight, is Oven. Yeah, he's struggling quite a lot. T. Smith does look up into the hairpin. He does love locking that tyre up. Now, there's got Goy behind him, but his overtake is finally being used. DRS on Zombie. Zombie's not got his open. Zombie moves to the inside. T. Smith, overtake open again. Zombie darts to the inside. T. Smith possibly around the outside of turn 1. Job done, nice move. Oh, Zombie deep into turn 2. Goy's there as well. Pagani's out of DRS range of Hammer Time. Now Oscar very close to the back of AJ. I apologise to the stream, I've had to put a fan on, it's extremely hot where I am right now, so you may hear a slight draft. If it is too loud, please tell me and I will turn it off, no problem. Just tell me if it picks up too much, I shall turn that off. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet to be fair. I thought we was going to see a little bit more. Yeah, it's a very fancy intro, isn't it? Very, very nice. Very pleased. Mikey's done an outstanding job. Give him a bit of airtime that he deserves. Here he is. FTRL would be significantly worse off without this gentleman, and we're on board with. As much as I give him a lot of stick, we are extremely grateful and very lucky to have Mikey with us. A lot of these graphics and wonderful things that you see are courtesy of him. Hashtag menopause. Yeah, probably, to be fair. Right, Lee's on the back of AJ. These two are just inseparable at the minute. AJ going well on the championship. With Adam Acko leaving, that does put him third. Lee enjoys a nice little slide out of the hairpin again. He's going to have DRS. He's not going to be able to do anything this lap. Goy Kart is close to Zombie. Here comes Goy. In towards the final chicane. He's going to go for it. No, he lifts off. Zombie dives into the pits. Goy. Time penalty. That was looking to me like it was heading straight for the wall. Captain Chubbs has pitted and put a set of soft tyres on, so he's going to be extremely fast coming into this race. The question is, can he hold on to it? Going even quicker, there's definitely a risk of some more penalties. Going for the fastest lap as well. Megatron's recovered fairly well. T. Smith nearly drives into the back of Lee. Lee's had a massive slide. Ask comms, how you doing today, lad? I'm good, man, I'm good. It's about I'm trying to get used to this Elgato that I've got that I'm now streaming using. I've got, like I said, I'm controlling it on one screen as well as reading the comments and stuff on the other, and having to use all of these little buttons and bits and pieces I've got as well. It's quite confusing to say the least. Oh, Lee's decided to drive into Tom and his contact. Them two into the wall. They got themselves caught up. I don't really know or see. It's always a VSC, but a very strange incident that. It looked like Tom tried to switch back Lee, or Lee defended that a little bit too firmly and they just got locked. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but Lee's going to have to pit, get himself a new wing. Goikarp decides to do the same thing, so he's going to go into a set of soft tyres, as is T. Smith. Now, it's easy to get a penalty at the end of the virtual safety car, so let's see if anybody decides to speed under it. A couple of people got caught out of that last week. Race control enabled DRS, so we're back away. And it seems as though everybody's managed to get themselves clear unscathed. AJ on the back of Goy. So Goy's now got 10.5 seconds to make up to Agent Panda. After Hammer Time picks himself up another time penalty, so he's definitely at risk. I'm not seeing what Mikey's got, but Mikey, I'm sure Mikey started on the medium, so I'm sure he's going to have to pit again. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. To take those mediums 20 laps will be quite impressive. So Mikey probably should have pitted under that VSC then. Would have lost minimal time. Megatron as well could possibly have done it. But AJ on the back of Goy heading down towards the final chicane. Is he going to try it? No. Goy holds it on. Should have buy F1 2020. 100% you should, Zom. It's... ooh, okay. Interesting move. It's done a little bit late. Comes across Goy quite a bit there. Did AJ, but nevertheless, move done. Max hits himself another time penalty. Captain Chubbs did set the fastest up of the race. Yes, Zom, to put it short, F1 2020 is superb. It's, in my opinion, it's the best F1 game been released for a very, very long time. It doesn't look too much different or anything like that, but it just feels so different to what it used to the last couple of years. And nobody would criticise the F1 games more than me. So, here we go. Go into the hairpin. Oh, he's got extremely deep. He's had to go down to 25 miles an hour to keep it out of the wall. Oh, as Zach would say. Oh. It's a close one. Maybe Goy was a little bit frustrated after the incident earlier on. Goy's going for it now. Brett is your daddy. Struggling in this race, but he's on the back of Casey Bernard. Gets himself up into P11. Casey's not going to respond there. Brett definitely gets a warning for the cut. But 5.5 laps to go. Captain Chubbs leading the way. Looking very, very fast. Like I said, he's got at least 4 or 5 penalties, but I think he's got himself covered. The guys behind have got some as well. So, but for any real mistakes, this should be Captain Chubbs' race. Goikarp and AJ still running close. Goy gets a real slide. Yeah, that's really, really good, Zom. Really, really good. Goikarp close. Oh, he's scaring me into that final chicane, he's Goy. He really is scaring me. So, okay, so Mikey has pitted, and he's come out in P7 just behind Oscar. He might have a bit of a task closing up to blue flag, but P6 is definitely on the cards for Mikey here. He's got a nice gap to Agent Panda behind. I don't think there's anybody that's really managed to get through this race unscathed in terms of penalties, but we have to see Mikey in towards the hairpin. He's going to be patient and wait for the straight. Oscar shouldn't really have a leg to stand on here. Mikey gets a good run out. Overtake is deployed. DRS is open. This should be Mikey's move now. Yeah, Mikey gets job done. And hammer time is pulled. A nice gap on Pagani. I'm surprised. I really thought Pagani was going to sort of run away and be a sort of firm P2 after the incident with where Megatron lost it earlier on. But it's pretty lonely up and down the grid now. It's only really Zombie and Casey Bernard. Casey Bernard goes somewhat defensive. Whether he was just letting him through, there's a little bit of contact. Casey Bernard's pushing Zombie out into the grass. Should probably give that position back, in my opinion. Not the greatest racecraft shown there. We've seen a few incidents of that nature this evening. Not the best. This is just try and allow the necessary room. I'm sure if Zombie was able to do any hand gestures from the car, they would be occurring as we speak. But at the moment it's the closest battle on track. Zombie's definitely quicker than Casey Bernard. He's caught himself back up already. Casey Bernard deep. He's on the hard sides as well. Zombie's on the softs. This should be job done. Zombie's not using his ERS. Casey Bernard into the final corner. T Smith in behind him, P14. Not been the best debut for T Smith tonight. Max gets himself another time penalty. He's really struggled tonight as Max. Yellow flag in sector 2 or 3. I'm going to go to Oven. It's not him. Goy Kart, Bread is your daddy, and AJ getting quite close now. Could be a little battle to the end. T Smith going to go past Casey Bernard as well into the second chicane. Pulls out of it, gives him a little touch. Casey Bernard, yeah, concentrated far too much on his defending net. And he's paid for it. T Smith's gone through. He's outwitted him. But is your daddy close to Goy? Goy Kart looking close. Well, Pagani has messaged me before the race saying last lap he'll be in the wall. So let's hope that's not the case for Pagani. Boys close to AJ. I can see a move happening soon. Bread is your daddy's going to be there in due course. Hammer time picks up another time penalty. Blue flags picked up another as well. I've not seen too many from Megatron, so he could profit. Hammer time's definitely got a few. Goy goes really deep into the corner. Oh, he suffered on traction. Bread is your daddy's right behind now. DRS is open. ERS in overtake mode. Pulls to the outside. Goy gives him the space. Job done. T Smith on the back of Zombie. Heading down the straight. Can he get anything done here? No, he's not going to be able to do so. T Smith another time penalty. He's nearly lost it. That was close. Max has been disqualified from the race for multiple penalties, so that's not the best way to end Max's evening. It's easy to get penalties around here, but nobody wants to finish a race in that style, especially on the final lap. But there's your daddy right on the back of AJ. Goy lost it on traction completely. Sector 2, Oven's gone right at the end of the race. The nightmare has got worse for him. British Daddy, another 3-second time penalty. Oven's just ahead. There he is. But Captain Chubbs, where is he? He's coming around the hairpin to complete the race. It must have been a pretty flawless performance. I mean, he has got a lot of penalties, but so has Hammer Time, and I know Pagani's got a few, so the race is definitely his. But for any mistakes, British Daddy down on the outside of AJ into the final chicane as they're on their way to start lap 35 of 35. But Captain Chubbs around the final corner, weaves his way to victory. Fantastic performance. Here we go, like we said just before the race started, he's definitely got some pace in there somewhere, and I think he's now unlocked it tonight, so good job from him. Hammer Time going to come home in P2 provisionally, but I know he's got at least 5 or possibly 6 penalties. So let's see whether Pagani's going to get him. Lee Cole, disappointing for Lee tonight. He will be very, very disappointed with that. Pagani jumps Hammer Time into P2. Now where's Megatron? Is he going to be able to jump Hammer Time as well? Or is he a little bit too far back? No, finishes just over 4.5 seconds off. So good recovery drive from Megatron nevertheless. He'll be disappointed with the earlier spin. Under no pressure, I'm going to be sure to give him a bit of shit for that in a minute. Oscar going to come home in P7. Jumps Mikey actually, so Oscar gets himself P6. I mean, I imagine there could possibly be a couple of reports for earlier incidents, so that might be changed. We don't know yet. Agent Panda P8, good result for Agent Panda. 5-second penalty. British Dad, is he going to jump him? No, he's not. AJ gets them both. So AJ's up into P8. And Goy Carp with no wing for some reason. Not too sure what's happened there. There you go. Goy's happy anyway. And finishes P11. Unlucky tonight, Max. AJ gets driver of the day in the game. Please let us know your driver of the day is in the chat just while we wrap the stream up. Nevertheless, it wasn't really the most exciting race tonight, it must be said. It's quite a versatile looking podium there, whenever Pagani's on there as well. I can confirm Pagani does not look like that. I'll just make that clear. There we go, not British Daddy. Captain Chubb spraying the champagne. Pagani's really trying to flirt with him, it's not working. And there we go. So Captain Chubbs takes the win. 15 seconds of penalty. Pagani's only got 2 penalties. He'd be pretty pleased with that. In P2. Hammer Time in P3. With Megatron in P4. Blue Flag P5. Oscar P6. Mikey moves up 7 places to go into P7. And then AJ moves up 8 to go into P8 from P16. Agent Panda's up a couple into the top 10 once again. He's having a good season. Championship leader Brett is your daddy. Runs off the top 10. He's not going to be too pleased with that, I don't think. Goy Kart P11. T. Smith on debut in P12. I'm assuming he will get better as the season goes. Casey Bernard in P13. Zombie in P14. Lee Cole finishes in P15. Disappointing from Lee. He finishes where he started. A couple of pit stops and a lot of penalties, I think. Not the best night for Lee. Matt Mann in P16. And we had 3 retirements of Oven, TRS and Max. Unfortunately got disqualified. But that wraps up the Canadian Grand Prix in round number 4 of Division 2 in season 14 of FTRL F1. So please do come and join us tomorrow evening, where we're going to be racing in GT2 on Gran Turismo Sport, which has probably been the highlight, one of the best divisions I think I've ever seen on Gran Turismo in FTRL. Those guys absolutely smashed it this season. And then GT1 is on Friday, where all of the top dogs take to the stage. So and then the action starts all over again on Monday with the Assetto Corsa League. But you'll see me next Wednesday. We are back for the Monaco Grand Prix. So yeah, tonight I think it's probably just a slight warm up for Monaco. It's going to be absolute chaos. I'm going to have plenty of things prepared on the stream for that. and we're going to try and somehow get through that together whilst trying to stay as professional as possible. But from me and everybody else in the FTRL, thank you so much for dedicating your time to watching it this evening and enjoying a nice bit of racing with me. Hope I've not been too boring for you, and I hope you've enjoyed the little bits of comedic effect. And from me and everybody else, even from Rolo, there she is. We want to wish you all the best for the evening, and thank you all very much for your time. We will